89. The battle between spirituality and apatheism. The most formidable adversary that the spiritual life faces today is not the rise of a neo-atheism, it is apatheism. Coined by social media, apatheism, as the word implies, means apathy, a total lack of feeling, one way or the other, as to the existence or non-existence of God, or indeed of any transcendent principle. In the 1970s, media in the Western world devised the term compassion fatigue. What it meant was that ever-multiplying charity organizations and the demands they made for the sympathy of donors eventually blunted people's capacity to feel anything for the sufferings of others, whether it was starving children in sub-Saharan Africa or victims of civil wars in places with unpronounceable names. Like an elastic band stretched beyond its capacity to expand further, the public's sense of sympathy, the ability to feel for the plight of others, just snapped. People became disconnected from a sense of the common humanity we share with each other. Today, compassion fatigue seems to have mutated to a more virulent form of spiritual ailment which could be diagnosed as conviction fatigue and has been given the name of apatheism. Contrary to common perception, the atheist is not the true antagonist of religious belief, much less of spirituality. Self-professed atheists more often than not are as passionate about their lack of belief in a supreme being as the most fervent of religious followers. Indeed, to turn a famous aphorism upside down, if God did not exist, the atheist would have to invent him in order to disinvent him. The atheist's firm belief in the speciousness of religious belief itself takes on the contours of a credo. Avowed lack of faith itself becomes an article of faith. Both believer and non-believer, the theist and the atheist have in common the intensity of their conviction. Both belief, and the vigorous denial of belief, exercise and strengthen the sinews of the spirit. There is no sedentary flab, only a mentally muscular affirmation and a countervailing and equally rigorous denial. It's like a hard-fought tennis match. The apatheist, however, is like the couch potato who doesn't even watch the exciting match on TV but aimlessly channel surfs to find something with which to distract himself from his own spiritually lethargic boredom. Daily exposed to the toxic affluence of media reports, rapes, murders, scams, scandals, wars, epidemics, natural calamities, the apatheist switches off from being tuned into any system of belief or non-belief. Any engagement with a moral world which represents a corructry both timeless and topical, dateless and daily. It's as if Arjuna shrugged and cared not a fig if Krishna existed or not, the Pandavas and the Kauravas existed or not, Dharma and Adharma existed or not. The inner cosmos of the spirit reduced to a yawn, a starvation of oxygen for the soul, a somnolence of consciousness. The price of democracy is said to be eternal vigilance. The price of a spiritual democracy, a contest between dogma and doubt, is also eternal vigilance. The apatheist takes the ballot box of belief and disbelief and uses it as a pillow to fall into a sleep bereft even of dreams of deity and an equally deified defiance. And there's no one to set the alarm for a wake-up call.